She stood frozen in the doorway, her trembling fingers wrapped tightly around the edge of her bridal veil. The room was lit only by a soft, flickering candle. The air smelled faintly of jasmine and something else she couldn't name, maybe fear, maybe hope. Ion was already inside, seated on the edge of the bed, his back turned, shoulders tense. For a moment, it felt like two strangers had been locked inside a dream they weren't sure they belonged in. She stepped in quietly, the soft rustle of her wedding dress brushing against the floor. Their first night, the one every girl is told to imagine, to romanticize. But this wasn't what she had imagined. A whispered silence. "Are you okay?" Ion finally asked without looking at her. I don't know," Zara replied honestly, her voice barely above a whisper. There was silence again, not the kind that comforts, but the kind that makes your heart beat too loudly in your chest. They had known each other for barely 2 months before their wedding, a proposal arranged by both families. Two beautiful families with smiles in photos, shared traditions, and warm blessings. But what of them? What about the two hearts now breathing in sync in this one room? Zara walked slowly toward the bed, her eyes scanning the unfamiliar space. Golden drapes, rose petals scattered awkwardly, a single candle burning like it knew the weight of this night. "Would you like to sit?" Ion asked gently. Zara nodded and lowered herself onto the opposite side of the bed. The gap between them felt like 1,000 oceans. He turned to face her, and in the candlelight, she saw he was just as nervous, maybe even more. "Do you want some water?" he offered. She smiled softly. "Yes, please." He poured a glass from the crystal jug on the side table, his hands shaking slightly. She took it from him, their fingers brushing, and it sent a strange jolt through her. Not passion, not love, just awareness. Behind the eyes. "Can I ask you something?" Zara said, voice more stable now. "Of course," Ion replied. "Why did you say yes to this marriage?" He looked at her, surprised by her directness. "I thought you were beautiful in your photo," he said with gentle honesty. "But I also wanted to trust my parents' choice. I thought maybe love can come later." Zara nodded. "That's what they all said, love comes later." "And you?" he asked. She exhaled slowly. "I didn't want to marry. Not yet. I was still finding myself. But when my father got sick last year, things changed. I didn't want to disappoint him." Ion's expression softened. "I'm sorry, I didn't know." "It's okay," she whispered. A moment passed between them, not filled with romantic sparks, but quiet understanding. The unexpected question. "Can I make a request?" Zara asked suddenly. "Of course. Let's not try to force anything tonight. Let's just talk, just get to know each other like friends." Ion smiled, visibly relieved. "I was hoping you'd say that." And so they did. They talked about their childhoods, about their dreams, about the music they liked and the food they hated. They laughed when Zara admitted she'd once tried to dye her hair blue and ended up looking like a Smurf. They chuckled when Ion revealed he cried at animated movies. The room, once stiff and ceremonial, slowly began to breathe. Midnight confessions. It was past midnight when Zara asked, "Are you scared?" Ion was silent for a beat before replying, "Yes, because I want to make this work. But I'm afraid you'll never truly love me." Zara looked at him, really looked. He wasn't perfect. He wasn't the prince from the fairy tales. But there was something raw about him, something real. "Can I tell you something too?" she said. "I was in love with someone. 2 years ago, it ended badly. And since then, I've shut a part of myself off." Ion didn't flinch, didn't judge. He simply nodded. "Thank you for telling me. You're not angry." "No, how can I be angry at your truth?" That night they made no promises of love, no vows of forever. First morning, Zara woke up to the smell of cardamom tea. Ion had set 2 cups on the balcony table, the early morning sun casting a soft glow over everything. "Good morning," he said shyly. "Good morning," she replied, surprised by the warmth rising in her chest. They sat quietly, sipping tea. "Last night was unexpectedly beautiful," she said. "It was," he smiled. "You know what I liked most?" "What?" "You told me the truth, and it didn't scare me." It made me want to protect that part of you. Zara blinked. Why? Because no one protected mine either. And just like that, a wall broke. The candlelight promise. A week passed. Then, too, they traveled to Murray for their honeymoon. Not the most glamorous place, but wrapped in mist and memory. They fought once, over nothing, but both apologized before the sun went down. One night, during a power outage, they sat again by candlelight. Do you think we'll ever fall in love? Zara asked. Ayan reached across the table, took her hand gently, and replied, let's not chase love, let's grow it. Like a candle, not a firework, slow but steady. Zara squeezed his hand. I like candles. Then promise me something, he said. What? Even when the world feels cold, even when it's easier to walk away, promise we'll sit again like this. Light a candle and talk, no matter what. I promise. When the storm came, 3 months later, Zara's father passed away. She broke, tears like rivers, silence like mountains. She didn't speak for days. Ayan didn't force her. He simply sat beside her, made her tea, left small notes near her pillow. I'm here. You don't have to be okay today. I'll wait for your voice. And one day she whispered, thank you. That was the day she realized love had come, not with fireworks, but with quiet loyalty, with a man who held her pain as gently as he held her hand. A letter she never gave. Months later, Zara wrote him a letter. She never gave it to him, but here's what it said. Dear Ayan, you didn't just marry me. You waited for me. You didn't touch my skin until you touched my soul. You didn't break my walls. You patiently painted them with warmth. You were not my first love, but you are the first person I trust to carry my broken pieces without bleeding. Forever Z. The unspoken moment. It was their first anniversary. No grand celebrations. Just dinner at home, laughter over old wedding photos. And yes, another candlelight evening. Do you remember our promise? Ayan asked. Zara smiled. Always. He leaned closer. I love you, Zara. And this time, she didn't hesitate. I love you too. And it wasn't a line from a fairy tale. It was real. Earned. Cherished. Epilogue. The candle still burns. 10 years later, on a cold winter night, with 2 kids asleep upstairs, and wrinkles starting to form around their eyes, Zara lit a candle on the balcony. Ayan came and wrapped a shawl around her. No matter how long we live, she whispered, this will always be my favorite love story. He smiled, brushing a kiss on her forehead. Mine too. And inside that simple flame,